What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. A lot of NASCAR news to go over tonight, man. We're going to recap a little Dover, what's popping in the headlines, and hey, I don't know if you guys hear it, but we got a nice crowd up here tonight. Getting right into it, man, we're going to start it out with what we like to call the word of the day. So, the way we play this game is every time I say a word, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I always like to say it's age appropriate. If you're under 21, make sure you get some sweet tea, Kool-Aid, Red Bull, whatever it may be. You got a few more weeks of school. It's getting ready to be out, man. You might as well stay up and live that summertime life, man. But this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, but whenever Lawrence throws it up there, every time I say it, take a sip of that favorite adult beverage, y'all. So getting into some NASCAR news, and before we do, got to give a big shout out to, LB's son out there, Lance. Happy birthday, Lance. Really appreciate you, brother, tuning in, checking us out. And another birthday, man, of all people. Dale Sr.'s birthday was the 29th of April, so got to give a big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend himself. And, happy heavenly birthday, Dale. Hope you living it up there. And as they always say, man, raise hell, praise Dale, baby. That's what it's all about. So getting right into that NASCAR news, man, I tell you what, if you guys tuned in Sunday and watched that race, Denny Hamlin comes home victorious there at Dover. Wasn't who I needed. I didn't need that to happen, but it happened. Third win of the season, ties William Byron there for the most wins so far. Really good deal there for Toyota and Chevy, man. They're absolutely dominating. I don't know where Ford's at, Lawrence. You know where the hell Ford's at? Ford. Ford's gone. They're not even contending this year. But anyways, at the end of the day, man, 11 car figured out how to get it done and came home victorious with that win there at Dover. So getting into it, negotiations, man. You know, we've been talking about this with charter systems and NASCAR and how they do their thing and the price of them. And negotiations between NASCAR and team ownership as far as charters go haven't exactly went the way that they hoped it would go so far. A lot of comments from a lot of different ownership. Denny Hamlin's commented on it. A few others have. They're just not aligned as owners, which is something I think they kind of really need to get figured out. You got to be one unit, especially coming against NASCAR, to get it going in the right direction. Now, I think we'll get it all figured out before the end of the year and figure out what it is. But me personally, I would love to see 40 competitive ownership teams. We all know 4's the number. There is no more Roush with 5, but 4's the number. So there's still some teams out there that have really good ownership and really good equipment that I feel like could buy another team. Or there's teams out there like we see, Junior Motorsports and different things, guys that are interested. I want to see 40 competitive NASCAR teams racing every week. That's what I want. I don't want to see the guys that are making a living, trying to make it go down. I mean, it is what it is, but we're into an age now where if that's what you want to do, you go to lower series. You don't do it in the Cup. Cup should be elite. And honestly, at the end of the day, we're becoming there. I really hope that here in the next year and a half, that's what we see. We see 40 competitive NASCAR Cup Series teams, all good ownership, all good equipment, all good sponsorship going for it. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Make sure you're tuning in. Always going to keep you up to what's going on that charter system for real. Kevin Harvick, set here in a couple weeks. We can get that All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. Came out this week. Going to be the fill-in there for Kyle Larson. Pretty sure he's going to practice and qualify the car and be on a fill-in, standby notice. We know how it goes. Indy 500, it runs long, can't get there on time, whatever, the logistics of it all. But it's good to see. I mean, you got a NASCAR Cup Series champion getting into the best equipment in the sport. I don't care what anybody says. Hendrick Motorsports, the best equipment in the sport. So I'm excited for Harvick, 1, to get behind the wheel of a Hendrick's car, and 2, Kyle Larson might have the first really good chance out of anybody that I feel to go out and win that Indy race and turn around and go win, the All-Star race, man. I think it's going to be great. Let's see what happens. Let's see what he does. But it's going to be awesome. So just make sure you're tuning in. Keep an eye on Larson. Very fast for the limited time he's got in IndyCar. IndyCar. Very, very limited, man. But I tell you what, he's fast, and the kid can drive. So at the end of the day, be on the lookout. Might be that double-double, man. Never seen it, but I'd love to. And he might be the first one that does it. And you want to talk about something that if a NASCAR driver comes in and wins the Indy 500, and then turns around and wins another race. Can't sweat young money, baby. Can't hide money, that's for damn sure. So speaking of Kyle Larson, I was just talking to Charlie Cunningham out here about there, another NASCAR fan out here. One of the best throwbacks I think you're going to see during that throwback weekend at Darlington. That 5-car honoring the Iceman, Terry Labonte. Come on, dude. It was my mom's favorite driver. I think she had a thing for him, really. I never asked because I don't really want to know about any of that with my mom, but I think she had a thing for him there for a while. But at the end of the day, just a great looking car, man. A lot of other ones at Hendrick Motorsports came out, maybe not going as far back as what I would have liked to see. There's some paint schemes that I would have liked to see, but at the end of the day, we all know, I talk about it all the time, NASCAR is such a young sport. We're running out of paint schemes, man. We're running out of things to throw it back to, right? So at the end of the day, did a really good job. Make sure you're checking it out. They do a lot of good jobs. All these teams posting it up, showing you what they're running. A lot of good looking cars out there, and I think that's one of the coolest things, especially if you grew up in that generation of watching those cars on the track. For an adult now, you look back and go, man, I remember that, and I remember what it looked like, and it's the nostalgia of it. So awesome deal, though, right there with Kyle Larson and Terry Labonte for sure. So speaking of Darlington coming up, man, you got Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton's going to be the honorary starter there for Darlington. Pretty good little deal for him. On that Hall of Fame ballot this year, so you know he's making the rounds, the campaign. It is an election year, by the way. Making the campaigns when he goes around. Just going to be a really good vibe, really good deal, man. I don't know. I'm twisted on how I feel about a lot of things. If you watch my show over the past few years, I feel like NASCAR is a sport we do too much for Hall of Fame ballots all the time. It's too new. I mean, we're throwing guys in like, is Jeff Burton really a Hall of Fame driver? Like, really? You know what I mean? I mean, nothing against Jeff Burton, but really, is that a Hall of Fame driver? That's just where I'm at. But good to see him get a little extra time on that campaign trail, and we'll see how he does on the ballot. We'll see what they vote him in. So before we go any further, y'all, we're going to pause for station identification. I've been having a great night at Coach's already. I've had a great week. I'm extremely sore, man, getting in where I fit in, and really good time. So cheers, y'all. Enjoy, and thanks for tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin', baby. All right, man. So before we get into it, like I said, my favorite segment of the show, Checkered Flag for Charity. This is what it's all about for me, honestly. Look, I get to come up here every Wednesday, enjoy the Coach's family, enjoy all my brothers and sisters that are up here and hang out and have a good time. But most importantly, we get to raise money for charity. So if you haven't yet, go out, like, share, follow, all that social. You can catch us out there on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but most of all, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Still trying to give away this Alex Bowman helmet. We said it, 400 subscribers or Alex Bowman's win. And somebody's going home with it. It's one of 150, certificate of authenticity, signed by him. Really cool little piece, man. If you're a Bowman fan or a 48 fan, really good piece of nostalgia and history there. So make sure you get it. Yeah, I mean, this thing's legit too, which you would think it's really heavy. It's not. It's very carbon fiber. It's a really good looking helmet, man. Trying to give it away. So like the host. That's it. Oh, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach. I think Demasi's a better looking host than I am, but at the end of the day, make sure you go out, subscribe, comment, hashtag Alex the Showman Bowman in that, man. Like I said, it's going to be given away at some point in time this year. Either Bowman wins or 400 subscribers, it's gone. All right, so get it in while you can fit in. Tell your grandma, your cousins, I don't care. Make fake little Google pages, whatever. Subscribe to the show. Get a chance to win that Bowman helmet, man. So before we get into that, who's hot, who's not, got to give a big shout out to my main man, Parker Eccles out there, Arbor Man Tree Service, the best tree service in Savannah, taking care of all your needs, locally owned, locally operated, insured, doesn't matter what it is, full tree removal, stump grinding, get some limbs cut back. What? Hurricane season starts when? May 1st, June 1st? Somewhere in there. I don't know when the hell it is. Sometime in there. But at the end of the day, it's coming. All right? So if you got some questions, need some needs when it comes to tree service, make sure you give Parker Eccles a call over there, Arbor Man. You'll see that number scrolling all night. like I always like to say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call. Love you, brother. So get into that who's hot and who's not, man. And look, let's be honest. Who's on it? Denny Hamlin's on it, baby, all right? Tied William Byron right there with 3 wins on the season. A note to be speaking about, which we really should look at. This is the fastest in Denny Hamlin's career he's ever come to 3 wins. This is the earliest in the season Denny Hamlin has ever had 3 wins. Now, we've all seen Denny Hamlin have multiple wins and choke it up, which I think he's still going to do. I don't think he's going to win the championship this year. I honestly don't. I'll take bets. Comment on the show. Bet some money. I mean, I got Venmo, PayPal, credit card, whatever you want to run, man. I got $5 bet with anybody right now that says Denny Hamlin wins the championship this year. And if I win your money, it goes into the checkered flag for charity. So if you're watching, you want to bet, throw it in there, man. We'll get on it. But getting back to it, really good driver. I mean, honestly, a generational talent. Doesn't have that championship, but has the wins, man. I mean, to pass Lee Petty for wins is something to be said, especially in modern era NASCAR. So I've never jocked the talent of Denny Hamlin. There's some things I don't agree that he talks about, or things that he says I don't agree with. I think he's a bitch when it comes to certain things. Sorry about that. I got young people here. Sorry, Will. But I really do. I think that's what he is. That, you know, you want to do unto others, and then when it's done to you, you cry about it. That's just me. But at the end of the day, running really good this season, #1 on that hot list. Coming into Kansas, you might as well chalk it up. The 11 is going to be a contender again. So, #2, come on, man. Kyle Larson, baby. I mean, you know Larson, Young Money's always going to stay on that hot list. Again, really good finish there at Dover. Didn't quite have enough to catch Hamlin. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, good solid finish. Got those points. You know, it's a good look. Him and Cliff Daniels, I say it all the time. That is, if not the best, top 3 best crew chief driver combination in the sport. Those guys communicate well. They work well together. They know what they need. They've got it figured out. So, you know, there again, Kyle Larson, Young Money, #2, baby. 3 for me, it's another Toyota, and I hate to do it. I could have put William Byron on there, really, too. But I'll take Martin Truex Jr., man. Again, an old, wily veteran that's been in the sport a long time, man. A little bit older guy. You know, again, consistently quiet like he was last season. You know, hadn't got that win yet, but points is killing it in the points, man. He's up there. So I think the biggest difference for that team is when we hit the summer months and we get into July and August and going into those playoffs, can we actually perform? Not fall like we did last year, stumble like we did, but really perform and go out and get it. I expect to win out of that team, this team, at some point in time. But right now, Martin Truex, he'll be 3rd on that list, man. So getting into the who's not. And the who's not is really going to be repetitive right now because there's only a few guys out there I think that's really not, right? And we'll go Ricky Stenhouse this week, all right? I can't do it to Austin Dillon a few weeks in a row being #1, so I'll give it to Ricky Stenhouse. You know, we saw him win that Daytona 500 last year. You know, Daytona 500 champ. Nobody can take it away. Big sponsor with Kroger. We know they're leaving. They're taking a step back. Kind of leaves his future in jeopardy in a way, right? Like, hadn't been performing at all this year. Usually by this time he's had a couple good, you know, 3, 4 top 10s, at least up there competing, right? And we haven't seen that. So I really hope they get it figured out. I think that if he becomes a free agent this year coming up, it's a good pickup, especially if it's a step up in equipment. I think if we stay equal, maybe, but at the end of the day, really good step up if it goes to better equipment. So we'll see what happens, but Ricky Stenhouse on the not list. #2, I bumped him down to 2 because I can't keep doing it to him, but Austin Dillon, again, man, just so deep in those points. For really good equipment. We just saw Kyle Busch have a good run. I think they're coming around. We know RCR is going to be okay equipment. Good Chevy team. Got the Hendrick motors up in there. I mean, but falling bad. It's time to, I think he's just doing it for sponsorship money. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think Austin Dillon lost the fire. There's no passion to go out and race cars. You got kids. You got a wife. You got money. I mean, you're just doing it for sponsors, man. Just go ahead and get out. Tell Granddad you need the job, do something new, and chalk it up, man. Just, you know, enjoy it. Be behind the scenes, you know. Go race Xfinity or trucks. I mean, that's all it comes down to, right? But number 2 on that not list, going to be Austin Dillon. I hope we can get him off. I hope by the end of the year, Austin Dillon comes off the not list. But it's not looking good right now. It's not looking good. We're going on a third of the way through the season, and it's not looking good for Austin Dillon. As always, the last but not least on the not list is going to be those NASCAR STDs, mufflers, and electric vehicles, EV. We can't do either one of those. If NASCAR does that, you just change the game, man. You got to go to the doctor, NASCAR, if that happens, okay?
You really think that's going to happen?
It's a possibility, Coach. It really is, man. It's a really good possibility. So I really hope it doesn't. Mufflers already have happened, but EV, I really hope. I hope not. We go to EV and you're pumping sound in. Yeah, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to watch it, but
Racing cars, though.
Right, that takes the whole point. The sight, the smell, the sound, the rubber burning, the gas burning, man. That's a whole thing. It's like watching a football game and you hear that good pop. You get that first good pop, baby. You're like, oh yeah, we're in it now.
It's like the wooden bat.
That's it. That's it. We're in it. So sights and sounds mean a lot. We're all visual creatures and sensual creatures. So we got to have it. So that'll do it for the who's hot and who's not. We're getting ready to get into that Dover recap, but I'm going to tell y'all, I'm having an amazing Wednesday. We're going to pause for station identification. Coach's Corner Sports Network one more time. Probably going to get a couple more because this cold beer is going down nice. But, hey, thanks for tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Make sure you stay tuned again when I come off. You got Coach D up here, Coach Carl DeMasi, the man, the myth, the legend himself, spitting that game. All that stuff coming right up after Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Stay tuned, y'all. All right. So into that Dover recap, look. Let's break it down like this. Dover is one of my favorite tracks to go to. It really is, man. It's so unique. Mile, high bank, concrete, changes so much. Thank you, sir. I think that we didn't really see as much as we possibly could have out of this race. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast sometimes when we go there, right? But at the end of the day, I would like to see Dover have 2 dates again. I think Dover would be an amazing playoff track. I think it's something unique that you can't prep for different times a year. It's just something I want to see. Now, this race, we'll go like a 7 out of 10. All right, I thought it was good. Had a little drama, had some things happen. But it wasn't that typical Dover race. So, 7 out of 10 is not bad. Again, Denny Hamlin found a way to hold off Kyle Larson there. He was charging hard at the end, getting there, just didn't have enough. And we'll talk about maybe the reasons why on another segment of the show here coming up, but just didn't quite have enough. And I tell you what, it's 2 of the best drivers that are in the sport right now. You can't deny it, whether you agree with what is talked about or not. Those are 2 of the best in the sport. And one's a lot younger than the other. And one, I think, has a lot more talent than the other. And we'll see maybe if Kyle Larson can end up with 50-plus victories when it's all said and done for him. He's already got a championship. You can line these guys up side by side throughout their career and statistically be given it. Now, the one thing I'll give to Hamlin is you've always been in really good equipment. Kyle Larson with Ganassi, yeah, a couple years there, but not always been in Hendrick equipment or equal par equipment. Now that you are, we'll see what we can do. But really good run there for both of them. Had some big names get caught up in a lot of BS there in a wreck with Bubba Wallace and those guys. Bubba, Christopher Bell, William Byron, just a few guys got caught up all in that wreck. Definitely wasn't Bubba's fault by no means. I don't care what anybody says, oh, Bubba got loose before. Whatever. Zane Smith or whoever was behind him got him, turned him. It is what it is, man. Again, I'm not a Bubba fan. I didn't really like the interview about what he said. And, maybe the biggest news is she pregnant? Are we having a child? Or are we doing this, He said, I'm getting ready to be a dad and I need to be adult about this. Well, you're already an adult. You should be adult about it either way, man. But anyways, at the end of the day, hated to see for some of those teams, they're trying to do their thing and keep up with the Joneses and make the playoffs. And, a couple of them can afford it. A couple of them couldn't. So we'll see what happens. But, part of racing. That's the way it goes, man. So, again, getting back to Martin Truex Jr., man, I had him this week. I actually got to pick first and second this week at coaches. And I picked Truex and Chase Elliott, which I don't know. I wasn't going to take two Toyotas. Maybe I should have went Larson. Maybe I should have, but I thought I had a real good shot. Ran good all day, led some laps. Ended up coming home top 5 there, top 3 there. Again, guy is just very quiet, consistent. I mean, yeah, we don't talk about him winning races and leading laps and, oh, look at Martin Truex out front leading. You don't hear that. But he's sitting really good in those points right now without a win. And as soon as he gets a win, it'll be right back on top. So Martin Truex, another good run, and we'll see what he can do, man. Got to give a big shout out to the main man, Noah, the problem child, Gregson. I mean, come on, man. Top 6. We're going to talk about what he could have done for us if he finished 5th. But top 6, really good run. I mean, showing up some veterans out there in some of those Cup Series SHR cars. We know got released from Petty. Stewart picked him up. Kid's got talent. Kid's got talent. Now, Ford sucks this year, which I'll throw $1 in there. Ford's horrible. But that's a really good run for him and a Ford. So big shout out to Noah Gregson as well. So that'll do it for that Dover recap, baby. We are getting into the Kansas preview. And again, there's no place like home. And when you get there, you better follow the yellow brick road, baby. Because I tell you what, Kansas is one of my favorite 1.5 mile racetracks we go to every year. Progressive banking, which I think is one of the best moves NASCAR ever did to a lot of 1.5 mile tracks or any track. I think it's exciting racing. Multiple groove, multiple lanes, are able to move the car around and pass. It's going to be awesome. Now, we saw last year the drama that went down between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. We'll see if it goes down this year. I don't think it will. But look, if you're looking for somewhere on Sundays, come watch that race. Coach's Corner, baby, the home of NASCAR in Savannah. You better come up here and check it out. Big screens on, got 1 million to tune it to. And it doesn't matter what kind of fan you are. They're always going to support it. But at the end of the day, Coach's Corner, the best place for NASCAR in Savannah. Come check it out Sundays, baby. So getting into that top 5, and it's really not going to venture too much. It's really a lot of the normal players. But number 1 for me this week, Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson comes back hungry. Had it won last year. Hamlin, you know, right rear hooked him, by the way. Just not enough space to really do any damage. And then turned around and cried at Charlotte, which I'm not going to talk about that, which I'm glad Elliott did it. I hope he does it again if he does the same bullshit they did last year. But at the end of the day, I'll take Kyle Larson, number 1. 2 for me, got to be Denny Hamlin. I mean, guy's on fire, 3 wins. Kansas, really good track for him, won it last year. 3 for me, Willie B, baby. William the Kid Byron, Big Hat Byron, baby. I mean, 3 wins, maybe they want to make it 4. I think Kansas is a good place. We know Hendrick and Chevy runs good there throughout the years with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson winning multiple times. I also saw young Denny Hamlin go out there and do some work out there in Kansas too. So just a good track for him. Byron will be 3rd. 4 for me, Tyler Reddick, man. Tyler Reddick, 2311. Sign the Rubbin' and Grubbin' banner, man. We got it. Young talent, really good over there in those Toyotas with 2311. Already got the win there at Talladega a couple weeks ago. I think Kansas is another place. You've seen that 45 car win there. I think you might see it again on Sunday. You got to tune in to find out. And last but not least, come on, man, I can't leave my boy. I can't leave my boy Chase Elliott off of that list, dude. Running hot. We're only getting more consistent, getting those top 10s. About time Allen's going to hook him up with something good. Eventually, you're going to get hooked up with something good. He's going to run it out there. Kansas, good place for it. Won there before. Maybe not the best average finish there at Kansas, but really good. So I'll take Chase the Bulldog Elliott 5th, man. Dark horses, look. There's only one dark horse on this list, and I'm going to tell you guys like this. I've been saying it. I've started it from the beginning of the season. Ty Gibbs has got the best shot to go out and win right here at Kansas out of that stable. First-time winner. I think you can go get it done. Out of all the racetracks this season we're going to, Kansas is going to be the one for Ty Gibbs right there. Bubba Wallace, again, won there at Kansas. Really good run there at Kansas. Does his thing. And last but not least, Alex the Showman Bowman, baby. I mean, really good, consistent finishes this season. Kansas can be a place. He can go out and get it done. So make sure you're watching out for that 48 this weekend as well, man. So getting into that money line, but before we do, I'm going to go ahead and kill this one because I'm about to need another one. Station identification, Coach's Corner Sports Network, baby. Rubbing and grubbing every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Tune in. Stay tuned. Demasi coming up. And he's got shenanigans as well. Got some young sports, young athletes from the area getting ready to lay it down, man. So stay tuned in for that Coach Carl Demasi Sports Report right here at the Rubbing and Grubbing, baby. The only place, Coach's Corner Sports Network, man. Hell, I drank the wrong one. I drank the wrong one. You got to kill this before I do any of that. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, y'all. So, yeah, I told you, folks in the house, man, everybody been drinking, obviously. But getting into it, man, that money line presented by Redfin Polarized. And look, I apologize. I forgot my Redfins tonight. I've got some other ones on. I'm not even going to mention the brand, but they're okay. But they're definitely not Redfins, all right? So whether you got money on the line or a wall hanger, make sure you see it clearly with the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Redfin Polarized, man. Italian frames, Carl's Ice lenses. They got everything to fit your needs for every condition of fishing, hunting, whatever it may be. The outdoors, they got you covered. Also got some good apparel, man. Hats, shirts. I actually ran into Jason Courtney today down on the beach. We talked for a minute. I'll be here May 18th for his concert. But going to be a good time. Like I say all the time, these things are made for the woods, the water, date night, looking good, being stylish. Go check that website out. If you find something you like, when you go to checkout, Rubbing and Grubbing 15, not 15% off for you, man. As I always like to say, baby, live life fins up, Redfin Polarized, man. So odds, opening odds for the guys that we know are probably going to run good with Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin are not looking good. Kyle Larson at like 350, Denny Hamlin's at 400. Not bad, but not good. If you're looking for a single guy to lock down with a big money bet, one of those two will probably pay dividends for you, right? I'm not that way. I like to spread it out. Me and Lawrence like to spread the wealth a little bit, which we did hit this past week. If Noah Gregson, again, the problem child, would have finished 5th, we would have been in it for real. We did hit the Denny Hamlin win. We did hit a top 5 on another driver as well. So it's pretty good. We're still in the positive for the year, so we're doing there. Not where we want to be, but still in the positive. But, man, I'm telling you guys what, there are some guys, big name drivers that are forward deep in that field that have huge value. Joey Logano, 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, 3,500. You will not see that again all season. You will not see Joey Logano at 3,500. So whether it's top 5, top 3, I think that's got to be a guy that you do. I know Ford hadn't done anything all year, hadn't really even led that many laps. You want another $1 in there for a cuss word? Yeah, I feel like you owe $1. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's a 2-time champion that's got big odds. Now, I look, again, Ty Gibbs, 1,500. Chase Elliott, William Byron, 700. There's a lot of guys that have good value depending on how you want to spread your bets. You got to stay tuned with us. Me and Lawrence are going to lock somebody in tomorrow for sure because the odds change after we practice and qualify. So we're going to go ahead and lock in some win drivers probably tomorrow afternoon. Get that done. Top 5, top 3 will wait. But Ty Gibbs will be one of them. I mean, that's my pick. I like a dark horse, a guy that I want to put money on. I think Ty Gibbs and that Toyota Monster going to run good. I don't know if he's going to win it. I've been calling it that he's going to win it. I don't know if he is, but he's going to run good, man. First win, Ty Gibbs, manifesting it in the NASCAR universe right here at Kansas, baby. So you go a little deeper in that field, and like I said, there's some guys out there with good value, man. But make sure you follow all that social media. Lawrence posts all that for us. Want to see what you guys have locked in. If I'm missing something on a bet, let me know about it. Post it. Show me what you guys lock in on your slips. And, hey, man, hopefully we win some money. So, like I said, stay tuned. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're betting on all those races, man. Tune in, subscribe, follow all that social. We're rubbing and grubbing to stay up to date with what we're betting on, man. So, that's right. Oh, derbies. Well, I got the derby right now. We also bet on derby, but I had it a little deeper. Lawrence, let me talk about it now. All right, look. Anybody that knows me knows I tell you guys I love racing. It doesn't matter what kind of racing. I don't care if we're racing blue crabs, racing turtles, we're racing frogs, tricycles. I just love racing. Now, looking at that Derby, obviously the favorite is probably going to be one of my favorites, right? There's no Bob Baffert horse in the field this year, which I think is bullshit. I'll throw $1 on there. It's bullshit. They banned the man for some BS. It's only supposed to be a year. Churchill Downs went, oh, well, you can't race another, whatever it might be. You're missing out. Bob Baffert horse, we already know would have won it, like he'd done a million times before. They're not in there. So Fierceness, obviously going to be a horse I got to look at. Now, if you want one that I'm going to put money on that's got the odds there, let me scroll down here and check it out and who I had locked in. Damn, where's that hell? I might even like, oh, here we go. Forever Young. Come on, man. Great song. Great horse. I think it's at 10-1. 10-1's not bad, all right? I don't know what we're going to come out. I mean, Sierra Leona is another really good horse, 3-1. I mean, those guys are going to run. It's a big field this year in the Derby. Those horses are going to run. I think it comes into who practices well, who shows that speed earlier in the week that we know is going to come out and run. And again, horse racing is different. It's kind of like having the best equipment and having no driver behind the wheel. Who's on the back of that horse and how they run that race and knowing that horse dictates a lot in the Derby. I'm still mad Baffert's not in it. Whatever. I bet all my money on Baffert horses every time. But like I said, forever young, baby. Just like my life that I'm living right now. I'm forever young. I'm really not that young, but I'm going to keep it going. We're forever young, man. So lock it in. You heard it here first. Fierceness, forever young. You can keep up with that too. Lauren's going to throw those bets. He'll post those bets. I'm going trifecta. I'm going to spend all kinds of money on horse racing. I love the Derby. I got into it young by family friends that were from, Louisville, Kentucky, and went. And I remember going to Derby parties my whole life, and it was some of the best memories that I have. And it's just awesome. So for me, I love it. I keep up with it. There it is, baby. Forever young. Lock that money in. Get after him, baby. Go win that Derby for me. So getting ready to get into that hard right turn, but before we do, we got to talk about Lamar's Body Shop, the sponsor of the hard right turn, the best auto collision service business in Savannah, 35 plus years, taking care of all your auto collision needs, doesn't matter what it is, full paint job, need some stuff replaced, need an estimate, man, drop it off, 2301 Skidaway Road, hop, skip, and a jump away from coaches. It's a win-win. You drop it off, you come here, eat lunch, go back, pick it up. Lamar and his team do not cut any corners. They're going to shoot it to you very straight. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, they do the best work that I've seen come out of auto collision needs here in Savannah. So, again, Lamar's Body Shop, 2301 Skidaway Road. Go check it out. Lamar, I love you, brother. As always, I owe you breakfast when I see you again, man. So getting into the hard right turn, and what we're going to talk about tonight is like aero blocking and what we've come into in NASCAR as far as the sport goes with that. Now, it's not like this is the first time we run into it, right? We ran into this in like 17, 18, 16 there, the side draft, and, when you get behind somebody you can't pass, you stall out. It's just a new part of what we deal with, right? And a lot of drivers complained about it a little bit at Dover. Martin Truex, Kyle Larson, I think, was one that said we need to take out the camera that shows behind us, the rear view camera that they have in the car. Need to take it out to prevent aero blocking. I don't think the camera really does anything more for you. I think by the time you look in that camera, you've already heard it from your spotter 20 times, right? I think spotters come in more than the camera. Now, it's just the name of the game. If you're out front and you know a guy's gaining on you, you're going to take the line out when he's 5-6 car lengths back, and it's going to put air on him. That's just what it is. Now, if he's that much faster, he'll get to you. I think it's something that we're never going to get out of. We've seen it before the next-gen car. It's not a next-gen issue. Maybe it's worse with the next-gen, but it's not a next-gen issue. We've seen it for years. So I think it's one of those things that, as a driver, you just got to know that's coming. It's what you got to do. If you're out front, you're going to block all those lines. You're going to put air on them. If you're racing for position, you're going to side draft. You're, again, going to put the air on them. That's just where we're at. Low horsepower, high downforce. It's what we run into. I'm not opposed to it. I don't care what it is. As long as we're all equal, it doesn't matter the style that we're doing. You just better put it in your, bag of tricks. You better be able to pull it out, and you better be able to do the same thing that these guys do. That's just part of it. You can't respectively race a guy old school and be like, well, I didn't block him because, that's just on you. With money and the sponsorships and ownership and what it means to win a race, you better go out and win the race. I don't care if you got to wreck somebody to do it. You better go out and win the race, man. But it was very interesting. If you guys haven't yet, go out and listen to Denny talk about it, and Kyle Larson talk about it, Martin Truex. A lot of guys that have been around and really good race car drivers talk about it. But it's just a new thing. That's a new tool implemented into the bat belt, if you will, of a NASCAR driver. If a guy's catching you, you're going to put air on him and block him. It's going to slow him down. Now, if he gets to you, does he bump you? That's up to them. But it's something that we got to deal with. So we'd love to hear what you guys think about it, on the sport, what you guys have going on, and all that good stuff. But we do have a special little guest in here. They come up all the time. Will Hare, going to be sponsored by Rubbin and Grubbin next year, by the way. Going to do it. He's dropping off the Grubbin. We are done with the Rubbin, on to the Grubbin. The man, the myth, the legend of hell. Very busy race car driver himself. Come here, Will. Come on up here, man. You got to get in here. All right. This is my man. This is who I'm betting money on. I'm telling you, before the end of the season or by next year, sponsored by Rubbin and Grubbin. We're going to have a sticker on that car, man. We're doing it.
Whole hood.
So, we don't have to do the whole hood. Don't do that to me. But love you, brother. Thank you, man. Rooting for you. Got a few more weeks of school. Young up-and-coming driver there. Got a lot going on. Yep. Great family. Mom and dad come up all the time, man. Just an amazing family. Very talented, man. Go check it out. Will Hill Racing. You can follow him on social as well. Like, subscribe, support the young man. That's what it's all about. We got to have the youth in the sport, man. If we don't have young kids driving cars, we have no sport. So get it out there. Will, I love you, brother. So on to the Grubbin. Really basic tonight. I'm not getting too deep, man. Everybody was already rowdy before I even got here. My producer's rowdy. His brother's rowdy. This whole crowd out here is rowdy, man. But we got some little gator bait, man. A staple. A staple here at Coach's. One of my go-tos. I always love the chips. They're amazing. Right. If you haven't yet, you got to come on to Coach's. Check the food out. Check the drinks out. Best place for sports. Best place for music. Everything you got to come check it out, baby. I'm going to tear this up when I get off. So that's going to do it for Rubbin and Grubbin, baby. We're getting into the outro. I want to tell everybody thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I can't explain to you guys what it does for me to have everybody tune in, show the show. I usually use this for something that's more motivational and life coach-like. So tonight, what I can say is don't drink as much as I do, okay? That's the best life advice I could possibly give to you. I don't do it every day, but just do not drink as much as I do. Do it in moderation, man. But no, for real, look, I hope everybody take care of themselves out there, man. If you need a friend, call a friend. If you need a family member, call them. We all go through stuff in life, right? Life's not easy. We all know it. I don't care if you're a multi-billionaire or broke as hell. It really doesn't matter. Life is not easy. It's the hardest thing we have to do. The sun's coming up, the moon's coming up every day, whether you want it to or not. The point being is never get to a point where you don't want it to. Live life every day for what you can. Be very appreciative of the little bit you got or the most that you have. We all don't know what we're going through. Ask a friend if they need help. Give yourself out there and, make yourself available, man. That's what it's all about. Be the best human you can be. If we're all being the best humans we can be, this world will be so much better, man. So, literally, be the best human you can. Help another brother out or another sister out. That's all that matters, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Tune in. Stay tuned. We got Demasi, but most importantly, Coach's News. I didn't even mention it. Jeremy's 10, baby. The Pearl Jam tribute, dude. Are you kidding me? I'm getting ready to be here. Hey, Kyle Busch. Come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here. Hop up here for a minute. I got to ask him because he gets down. Are you coming Saturday for Pearl Jam or not?
I'm working the show. I'll be here all night.
You're working the door?
I'm working back here.
Okay, well, damn right. I know he does. He always does it.
I'll be here all night, Bubba. I'm working the show.
Damn right. You ready to see this one?
Taking care of them. You want to meet the band?
You'll see me. You might have to take me home.
You know I love Pearl Jam. I've seen Eddie Vedder. I love him.
I love you too, brother.
He might make an appearance, by the way. Everybody come to Coach's, Center of the Universe.
That's it. You know
I
I'll
know
be
how
here.
we do it.
You know I'll be here. Another Pearl Jam enthusiast right there. But no, man, Jeremy's 10, rocking the Soundgarden this Saturday, 7 o'clock. show up, show out, get your tickets. That's all I got to say. I'm about to go drink cold beer. See you if I did halfway decent in NASCAR, man. Hope everybody had a great Wednesday. Make sure you're tuning in Wednesday, 6 o'clock, right here, Coach's Corner Sports Network. Stay tuned for Carl DeMasi, the man, the myth, the legend himself, about to keep you up to date. Baseball, local sports, got some guests coming on. The man knows what he's doing, baby. Love you guys, man. See y'all next week. That's it, the big woo-woo, Coach.